In 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann was taken from her apartment early in the night on a family vacation in Portugal. In part 1 of this series, we'll discuss her disappearance, some of the early suspects, the ongoing investigation, and the media coverage that had the entire world captivated. Who abducted Madeleine McCann? It's time for us to solve another case. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you fancy yourself an amateur cold case sleuth, stick around. The truth is out there. Maybe we can solve a mystery. This is Necronomipod.
Gotta be the end times, the sign of the apocalypse. Promised Land is complete.
It's all done.
What?
Finally.
Cue the Instagram meme. It's been 87 years, the Titanic lady. People were children when they started your initial series, are now driving and voting.
I didn't really realize how long it's been until I kind of looked at it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
It's like 4 years?
I know. Things have really changed since then.
4 years ago was COVID. We were all diving into projects we had no business getting into at the time.
Every day is like, I wish these motherfuckers would forget about this. I keep hounding them. He's like, I'll fucking do it.
The first time around, I put this stupid music behind everything. That's like eerie shit. I fucking hated it.
Creepy, man.
And we had really bad microphones back then compared to what we have now.
That's true.
So
Sure.
We didn't have these good ones then?
No, I was using the
silver ones?
Yeah, the old school ones. So that's why
let me tell you about Jim Jones. He had this flavor aid. He was in Guyana.
Recorded it with a paper cup.
So I redid. I got all the vocals done. Everything's finally redone. Putting the audio clips back in and everything, that was super. It's a really tedious thing. So I'm always like, the anxiety of getting, but it's all done. Everything's ready to go.
So new enhanced experience, new mic, new, much better audio quality. Excellent.
Same clips though. Everything's clip based. So I figured, because we have a lot of new listeners since 2020, 2021.
I hope so.
Hopefully everybody will go check it out. But I found a clip of Jim Jones introducing Mr. Muggs to his congregation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Historical moment in Necronomipod history.
Yep. So I figured we'll play the clip, and so people can see that's what Promised Land's like. It's just narrating the story, and all that's boosted by the audio clips from all the tapes.
If you don't know who Mr. Muggs is, I suggest you go listen to Promised Land.
Animal shelter. I suspect the most extensive animal shelter in Northern California. At least it's been reported to be. And we give the most exemplary kind of care, according to many veterinarians. We have, I think, a little fellow here I thought it might be of interest to you that I saved from being in an unnecessary experiment. His name is Mr. Muggs. Where is he? Where's Mr. Muggs? Come on and see me, Muggs. Wow. Come. He's a part of our congregation. He claps and he worships. He talks to me. We have our own little language. He's so sensitive. And I think we need to be concerned about the treatment of animals because, it's so easy. We step from the adverse treatment of animals. She's been so helpful to us in raising him. Want to say something to the public? Wow. 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 He says he's not used to television. All right. He says, I'm not used to television. All right. And in each service, wow. Right. They're not, I think he's a little conscious of these maybe being weapons. Interestingly enough, if anyone moves in my direction, he automatically attacks unless I stop him. I've got, if people won't stand by me, the chimpanzees will. It's one of me.
Obviously, before he was trained to run the Fox schedule.
Yeah.
He was just in his early days there.
Just being brought in.
So more of that. I'm going to drop episodes every Friday.
Any of this? Well, that's later in the story.
Spoiler alerts. Jeez.
God damn.
Wow. Was that the chimpanzee or was that the congressman?
Well,
How many episodes have you released?
By the time this comes out, it'll be 3.
3.
Yeah.
All right. So there's already some out there. If you're listening to this, go right now. Search it up, Promised Land.
do it.
And also, it helps the show out too. People checking it out, downloading, subscribing. That's a big, well, first of all, it's a big thank you to Ian, for just checking out the work that he put into it. And it helps him. It helps the whole show. So if you're a fan of us, go check that out.
Download and subscribe.
Yeah. It is a cool down media thing. It's
all under the Cool Down Media umbrella.
yeah.
And hey, maybe if this goes well, there'll be other spin-offs in the future.
Maybe so.
You never know. People are dying for my 98-part history of NASCAR. Can't wait to break down for them.
Then I made a left turn, then I made another left turn, and I kept making left turns until there's cheer me on, make a left turn.
See, that was actual audio I played from the 1970s.
Woo, left turn.
Yeah.
I made 495 left turns and I won the race.
I can spend 4 straight weeks
and I
just
fucked my sister.
just on Talladega itself and the infield parties that they have. That'll be its own mini series within a mini series, like a spin-off of the mini series, which we will be doing investigatories of hopefully in 2025, the Talladega infield.
You betcha.
Hopefully.
I don't think we'd be able to do a live show down there because it'd be so fucking chaotic. But it would be fun to just do something down there if we could.
Oh, we'll do something down there.
Well,
we're going.
We're not going to do jack shit if people don't like and subscribe to or rate and subscribe Ian's Promised Land.
That's right.
There will be no other spin-offs.
I want to see 5 stars up the wazoo this week.
All right, so go check that out. That's good stuff. And I think we had mentioned this, but the first one you did, the first go-around, you had more episodes.
Yeah.
You've condensed them.
Right.
It's all of the same information, but longer episodes.
Right.
And so it'll be a shorter series overall,
Yeah.
but they're still getting the exact same stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
With a finish.
This time with a finish.
With the finish. The finish is already, it's
You're
already
not,
written
you're
and
not edging
recorded.
people for a whole year and
Big old
never
finish
coming through.
right in their face. It's going to be a big old finish. It's a finish 4 years in the making. You can imagine.
He's built up.
Promised Land blue balls. Well, going from that to arguably the most requested subject we have ever had, we have had that we haven't covered yet. I've been seeing this one for years pop up.
Yeah, this is right up there with John Bonet, I'd say, right? If you Google top 20 true crime cases, this is definitely going to be on there.
I just mean what we get requests to do, though.
Yeah.
We've been getting requests for this since 2019.
Constantly.
Netflix had a documentary that came out.
It's a bit long.
Yeah. But
Long-winded.
that was about 2019, I think that came out. Somewhere 2020, maybe.
Sounds right.
I think that renewed a lot of interest in that, too, in this case.
It fell into the documentary curse that they do where there's, it's 5-10 times as long as it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Just to fill time. Just give me the info.
There was that one series. I remember talking to Angie about it years ago. Something with nuns It was like a Netflix, like 7 or 8 parter.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I stopped watching it because it was like, I got 4 episodes in and I was like, this is just dragging on.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was. It was with kids though, or not kids.
It's the nun that was killed. And it was like a mystery as to who killed her.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like 8 episodes total and just dragged on and on.
A ton of those.
And
They
I
do it all the
was like,
time.
I'm losing interest.
Yes.
It needs to be 4 episodes. Like you need to condense it down.
It's too much.
I think that's what I had said at the time. That's back when we were doing our Thursdays hanging out. You're ripping 8 shots of Fireball and walking home. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Early days of the podcast. It might have been before the podcast, but like I said, the same thing, half the length, 4 episodes. Let's bust this out.
Yes. The victim 5 years before the kidnapping ate a Snickers bar on April 21st. We're not sure why they did that.
Yeah, there's like a fine line between being really informative and like do a deep dive and just
You just get annoyed at some
Droning,
point.
yeah.
Like, fuck. My wife watches it. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I just Googled the case. I already know everything that happened. You're sitting here watching it, and I'm going to go do something else.
It's like the equivalent of clickbait. Like they just want to drag it on to get more of the streams, and like they're not really giving you anything informative at that point.
But every word that we say is very important to the story.
I certainly think so.
Yes.
But some would call me a narcissist, so.
I mean, when Little John's in the studio commenting on Casey Anthony, it's very pertinent to the outcome and the analysis of the story itself.
It really shapes the story.
It 100% does.
Helps drive it home.
Okay! I haven't done it in a while. I hurt your throat.
I wonder if Little John will show up in this one. He seems to like children going missing or dying.
Oh, does he?
Well, I'm just saying his track record.
Do, 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 do.
the McCann family, consisting of parents Jerry and Kate and their children, Madeleine and the twins, Sean and Emily, were a close-knit family from Leicester in the United Kingdom. Jerry McCann was born on June 5th, 1968 in Glasgow, Scotland, and was a cardiologist at Glenfield Hospital in Leicester, England. His wife, Kate, was born on March 5th, 1968, near Liverpool, England. She graduated in medicine from the University of Dundee and later specialized in obstetrics and gynecology before transitioning to general practice.
So she's a doctor too?
Yes, two
All right,
doctors.
2 doctors.
Their daughter, Madeleine, was born on May 12th, 2003. She was said to be a typical little girl, super happy, full of life. She had blonde hair, bluish green eyes, and a unique kind of birthmark type thing. It looks like a teardrop coming off of, like in her iris. It's like coming off of her pupil. It's a really rare.
It's cool looking. I think it's
That
neat.
sounds cool.
The twins, Sean and Emily, were born on February 1st, 2005. In 2007, the McCanns decided to go on a vacation to Praia de Luz, Portugal. The McCann family chose to stay at the Ocean Club Resort. It was a family-friendly resort that featured a swimming pool, tennis courts, a kids club, and a bunch of recreational activities for both kids and adults. The Ocean Club's layout included clusters of holiday apartments and easy access to the resort's amenities. However, the resort wasn't enclosed from the outside world. There were streets used by pedestrians that you would have to use to get to the apartments from things like restaurants and whatnot, which we'll talk about more in a minute. But first, we got to get into the people that the McCanns were traveling with. They became known as the Tapas 7. Tapas for the resort restaurant that they all ate at.
Clever.
There's always with that, like these true crime things like that.
Oh, look at Tapas 7.
Like the Yuba County 5.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Tapas Restaurant. Big fan.
Yeah.
You've been there?
That's all.
You've been to the tapas, right? You've been to Portugal?
No, just tapas in general.
Oh, I thought
just
you said
small
the
plate.
tapas restaurant. And I was like, oh, you've been
Like
here?
a tapas restaurant
Tapas
in general. Yeah.
Okay.
I was at one in Atlanta last weekend. It was excellent.
I have not been to a specific restaurant, but I mean, I've had tapas. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I don't mean this specific one. I just
like
mean
tapas?
a tapas restaurant in general.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I thought you were going to fucking tell me a joke or something? Like you were trying to trick
I thought this is one of his. Oh, I've traveled the world extensively, and I've been to Portugal, and this specific restaurant was quite fine. It was not that. He's a guy who likes tapas. Get off his dick about it.
I have been to tapas restaurants in Spain, though, not Portugal.
Excuse me, sir. Maybe you should.
No, I just
maybe you should be a suspect. It's not the tapas 8.
I just love that small place stuff because you can eat so many different things. It's awesome. Big fan. Big fan.
Jane Tanner. She was a marketing executive and family friend of the McCanns. She's a mother of 2 kids that were there on vacation with them, and she plays a significant role in this case. Russell O'Brien, a physician and university researcher, was a family friend of the McCanns and Jane Tanner's partner. Matthew Oldfield was a physician and a family friend of the McCanns. Rachel Oldfield, a lawyer, Matthew's wife, and a family friend of the McCanns. David Payne, a physician and close friend of Jerry McCann, like Jerry's closest friend ever. Fiona Payne, a physician and David Payne's wife. And Diane Webster, the mother of Fiona Payne. And she is interesting because she plays an outsider's perspective within the group. Like, she's not friends with anybody. She's just kind of there for the ride.
So them, 3 other couples, and Fiona's mommy.
Yeah. Everybody is very, very successful doctors.
They're
Sounds
all
like it, yeah.
well-educated, high-profile, or, highly professional people.
If you were to read it at this point, one might assume that Fiona's mom was there to watch the kids after hours while the adults were out doing adult things. Doesn't seem that's what happened, though. We'll talk about that further.
They're like, oh, yeah, Mom, you can come, but, you got to be in bed at 8 o'clock with the kids. We'll leave a 6-pack of Zima for you in the fridge.
Zima.
I'll bring you a plate of tapas when we come home at midnight.
I used to like Zima.
I
Little
actually,
orange slice in there.
last
Not
week,
bad.
last week or 2 weeks ago, I wanted to do something different for the podcast, and I thought about bringing Zima in just to drink and have fun with it on the show. It's no longer made or available.
No, I didn't think so.
Well, they brought it
bring
back. They brought it back a few years ago. Maybe at this point 5 or 6 years
Didn't
ago.
take off, huh?
And I thought maybe they just kept it around like low key, but no, I think it's gone.
I felt like we had it at one of our Thursday.
Because I never had it initially. It was like kind of before my time even. And then when it came back, I tried it. And it was not what I was expecting. Like I thought it was going to be like very Smirnoff icy. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try it again. And then no.
I thought they were good.
I don't remember. I just remember it being different than what I expected.
Yeah, I took a sip of one, but I don't remember what it tasted like.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got on that one.
Does anyone have any special backroom supplies anywhere?
I don't know. If anyone out there has a hookup,
Send us a case of
send us a
Zima.
case of Zima. Be fucking all broken in the mail, just glass and liquid everywhere. Like, oh, thanks. At least you tried.
You got some Zima? I suck your dick.
I don't remember it being that good.
A typical day at the resort for the group went like this. Morning started with the kids going to the resort's kids club, a supervised play area that had a bunch of activities for the kids. While the kids were at the kids club, Jerry, Kate, along with their friends, took advantage of the resort's facilities. They spent their mornings by the pool, playing tennis, just doing vacation stuff.
Lots of tennis, I read. Tennis, nonstop tennis.
When I'm on vacation, I love to exercise. When I'm not on vacation, I love to exercise.
But it was like tennis lessons, tennis matches, more tennis lessons. Like
Nowadays, it'd be pickleball, right?
man.
That's what it would be nowadays.
It would be
That's what
pickleball,
everyone's
yeah.
doing. It's the latest craze.
I finally got to play some pickleball. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to play some more. It was fun.
It sounds fun.
I really liked it. Please start a league so I can play.
You asking us to start a league?
We could just start our own, I guess.
That's what I mean. I just want you to do all the legwork. I just want to show up and play.
We don't have pickleball courts near us, do we? I mean, not like immediately near us. I'm sure there's a ton in
town. Yeah, there's
In
some,
town. Yeah.
All right, well.
That's all I got on
Figure it
pickleball.
out.
Okay.
I'll buy my own paddle,
I'll
though.
buy. I was gonna say a racket of their paddles. Is that what they're called?
Target's got a whole section up front about pickleball stuff.
Really? That's wild.
It
Yeah,
is
I've never
fun.
played.
It's a lot of fun.
I've seen the pickleball league on TV. That is a real thing.
They're shown on TV?
It's a league. It's a pickleball league. Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta watch that.
I can't remember if it was like FS1 or ESPN, but I have seen it.
Damn.
They have tournaments up at the rec center here in town.
That's crazy. People like 80-year-old men just smoking your ass in pickleball.
That's exactly right.
Like, get off my floor, kid. You're an embarrassment to the game of pickleball.
Lunches were typically a family thing with everyone getting together. After lunch, the group spent the afternoon by the pool with the kids. Towards evening, the families would go back to their apartments to get ready for the night. The kids were given baths, dressed in their PJs, and settled in for the night. Evenings at the tapas restaurant became a regular thing for the vacation. The adults ate and drank together while the kids slept, and the parents from each family would take turns checking on the kids every 20 to 30 minutes, which we'll get into that after we talk about the layout of this place. Apartment 5A, that's the one the McCanns were staying in, is located on the ground floor of a 2-story apartment block within the Ocean Club Resort Complex. It's right around a 165-foot walk from the Tapas restaurant. The apartment includes 2 bedrooms, a living area, a kitchen, and a bathroom. The patio doors at the rear of the apartment open onto a small garden area and a walkway leading to the Tapas restaurant. The Tapas is positioned across a swimming pool and garden area, and the restaurant allows for a partial view of the apartment block. Partial meaning that there's a building and some vegetation in front. I sent you guys a map. We'll talk about it in a second. But we said before, the general layout of the resort isn't like what you would typically think of a resort. It consists of a network of pedestrian pathways connecting all of this stuff together. Like there's people that live there full time right next door to what would be considered the resort.
Like from what I read, the partial view is that you can see sort of the roof of the building. You can't see into it. You can't see the door. You can't see the windows or anything. And what did you say? 165 feet walking. I saw it reported a couple different ways. Like the 165 feet was as the crow flies, but the actually walk there was closer to like 295
Because you have to make turns.
because you have to go down the path. You're right. I don't know. Like, is this a cultural thing overseas that you would leave your kids like this? Because I really can't relate to doing something
No.
right off the bat with this story. I have a very hard time. Like these kids aren't 8,
No, we're talking
7,
about,
8, 9 years old. They're what, 2 and 4, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because when I didn't know a lot about this. Angie was real into it back in the day. So I was talking to her about this beforehand. I'm like, well, how old were the twins? That might change my mind a little bit. Like maybe the twins were older. And then she's like, no, they're 2. And I'm like, what? Why?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't register.
Very weird.
Like there's cultural differences. Like kids in, say, Tokyo, 6 years old, ride the train by themselves because it's this, they allegedly the safest city on earth. So kids a lot younger do things that you wouldn't, the kids in this country wouldn't necessarily do. They wouldn't be comfortable with. But like these are 2 and 4 year olds, right? It's very strange to me.
Yeah, I don't.
And if I'm missing something here, maybe I am in the cultural difference, like I said, but
I don't think that you are.
I can't see leaving your kids like this and just going out drinking. And
It just seems like one of those things where like they were going out drinking. They're like, well, it's vacation. We're going to go out drinking because we had the kids all day, but we'll check on them every 30 minutes to make sure they're fine because they're sleeping. Nothing will happen. That's their mindset is what I'm, you know. And
it's not even a secure
but meanwhile,
facility.
you're leaving a door open right there that's not secure. Like not
And
a
the
resort.
door's unlocked.
The door,
and it's not a
back
secure
door
facility,
is unlocked.
right?
And it's not even like you, I think, said Ian, like a 8-year-old or a 7-year-old that could come to you.
Right.
Like you could, even then, I don't think I would be comfortable, I feel like.
No,
but
it's too far
at
away.
least, if it was someone older, you can be like, if there's any issues, we're right over at this building. You run over to us, whatever it might be. And even that, like, would make me nervous, I feel like.
It's very fucking nervous.
These are toddlers and infants.
And it's not even a gated thing.
Right.
It's not secure.
To leave your door just open.
I find it odd. I mean, I know we're verging on victim blaming here, but I just find it very strange that someone would do this.
I think it's it's part of why this case got so much traction, or there was so much media attention against the McCanns, because I think most people feel that way. You read this and you see the map and stuff, you're like, that is so far.
But these other parents did it too. They weren't the only ones with kids there,
Were they all
right?
the same? What were their kids' ages, though?
All the same. Or
All
is this a
young?
wealthy thing? Is this a wealthy
Is
type
it?
thing where you're just so, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like a wealthy resort
No.
where there's security and it's closed off and gated. And
Yeah. I keep thinking about what you said, like victim blaming, like, but isn't just a stupid parenting mistake a stupid parenting mistake? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're doing something dumb, you're doing something dumb.
yeah,
And since we're talking about, we're really getting into this part of it now, I'll go and say, like, spoiler, I don't think that the parents had anything to do with this.
no, I don't either.
With this at all.
No. I think you opened the door that allowed someone else to, though.
And I think you can make an argument for neglect if you wanted to. I think if this happened in the United States and they weren't very wealthy, a bunch of doctors, they could probably get charged with negligence on this.
You see stories where poor people leave their kids sitting in their car outside their jobs because they didn't have any sort of, daycare ability or capability, and 100% they would get charged with neglect. And I don't see how that's any different. These are, wealthy people who are on vacation. It's just as
and
bad.
Also, from my standpoint, surprise, surprise, I have no idea how this fucking story ends. And this is a two-parter. So I'm not victim blaming anybody. I'm literally just talking this through as I learn about it.
Yeah.
I've read the notes for today, and that's what I know because I want to take the ride.
I would never have left my kids out of sight like this. This is crazy to me.
And I think people question the McCann's involvement, and they criticize Jerry McCann because real early on in this, he went on the news, did an interview, and compared it to eating out in your backyard. Like you're on your same property. Like you could just look up and see that's
absurd.
not what it is. I think that they're probably doing backtracking because they made a fucking life and death mistake.
Yeah, clearly.
Which I guess that makes sense.
I think
I'm
that's
saying it's right.
I don't
but
think
that
they're
makes
trying
sense.
to cover anything up. I think they're just
You're trying to rationalize it to yourself after the
Yeah.
fact because fuck, what else can you do?
Is this like a John Bonet thing where like the mom or John Bonet's mom is like her and Burke are like suspects number one in most people's minds, or is this one more like open-ended type? Like
I think you're gonna have to wait to get into that, perhaps.
to not spoil anything for you.
Okay. I just chin myself.
So May 3rd, 2007 was the average day of vacationing for the McCanns. All that stuff that we just went through. 5:30 p.m., the McCann family went back to their apartment to get ready for the evening. 7 p.m., the McCann kids, Madeleine and the twins, ate dinner and got ready for bed. By 8 p.m., Madeleine was in a single bed while the twins were asleep in cots in the same room. I also read cribs. Not sure. But I don't know. I'll cut it, but that's just so fucking stupid to leave 2-year-olds in the crib and just dip out like that.
To feel like they're
Safe.
small enough to be that they need to be in a crib, but that you can be 200 yards away or whatever it is.
Look, I can give the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
And she was
but
almost
I just-
4 to be like, not that it makes a difference. We say 3. She was 10 days away from being 4 years old. Not that it makes a difference, but
Yeah.
to acknowledge that.
I all day I was trying to rationalize, like trying to put myself in the situation. I just don't see it. I don't know how you can do this.
Ian said maybe it was just that false sense of security, like coming from like a families and neighborhoods, and you just don't even think like that something like that never happens to me or would never happen to me. And maybe it's just not innocent, but just simple thinking like that.
I guess, but
And
the
you
fucking door's unlocked. Like, who's to say your 3-year-old doesn't just
Well, that's the other
get
thing,
up and
like-
open the?
You just take a room key with you, right? You can lock the door.
Yeah, the unlocked door is nuts. On top of the already nutty behavior.
Yeah.
It's really hard not to criticize them the whole time
Yeah.
going through this timeline. You know what I mean?
It absolutely is.
At 8:30 p.m., Kate and Jerry left their apartment to join their friends at the Tapas restaurant. At 9:05 p.m., Jerry made the first check on the kids. He entered through the unlocked patio door and saw all 3 kids sleeping in their beds. He noticed that the bedroom door was slightly ajar as they had left it. They left it slightly cracked, and he went back to the restaurant. He said that he had like this proud dad moment, looked at his kids, everyone was sleeping. He was really, like, this is a great vacation. I have a great family. Then he went back to the restaurant.
Oh, man.
9:30 p.m., Jane Tanner went to check on her own kids. On her way, she reported seeing a man carrying a child near the McCann's apartment. The man was walking, quote, briskly, carrying a child in pink pajamas. At the time, Jane had no idea the significance of what she just saw. 9:35 p.m., Russell O'Brien, Jane's partner, left the restaurant to check on his daughter. He saw Jane on his way back, and she mentioned the sighting of the man carrying a child.
So I have a couple questions here. If she didn't find that suspicious in any way, why would she mention it? Also, if she was going back to check on her kids and that's her partner, why wouldn't she just check on his kids too? Why would he follow her 5 minutes later?
So his daughter was sick. She wasn't feeling well. It's not like they have 2 different kids. They're parents or children from 2 different relationships.
That's how I read it as well.
Yeah. So his daughter was not feeling well. So that's why he was going back on his own.
Why wouldn't they go together?
I'm not sure.
He had a Jaeger bomb coming. He had a finish. That's mean. That's not. I don't know. That might have been unfair, but
Like, my girlfriend's getting up. What time is it? 9:30. Mm-hmm. She's going to go back and check on her kid. My daughter's there. She's sick. I wait 5 minutes.
maybe he has the bladder of a Mike Namapod and he was in the pisser when she left. He was in the
Okay.
He was in the loo.
I'll accept that answer.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I find it odd that she mentioned the kid, though.
Yeah, because there's other reporting where it's presented as no one would have thought to think of this. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been just a parent carrying their kid back to a room or something.
Hey, boyfriend, I just saw a guy carrying a kid. You're like, okay. It's weird. Doesn't fit.
Yeah, and I guess it's not that late that it would be odd for a kid to be up. Because he was walking briskly. If you saw that at 2 a.m., you might think, oh, there was an emergency.
Yeah, 9:30.
But it's 9:30.
Things happen later over there.
And it's just, it would not be uncommon for a kid to be up at 9:30.
No, not at all.
So, a little odd.
Yeah. Why'd she mention it?
But also weird to mention if you're going down the accusatory route.
If you find it odd, why didn't you do something about it? If you didn't find it odd, why did you bring it up?
Do you think in that situation, if someone walked by you briskly at like 9:30 and like, what would you do? Or would you just pass it off as like, whatever, it's their kid. It's not my business to, like, what am I going to do? Make a scene at 9:30 at night? Like, I'm trying to put myself in that situation.
Maybe 3 a.m. like you said. I think it's all about context, sure.
But again, she felt odd enough to bring it up.
Why though?
If you felt that way,
why didn't you do
would you
anything about
still have done something? I'm not sure. Like, I'm trying to think if I was in that moment.
Hey, what are you doing?
Because then you could just be the asshole who's getting involved in some guy taking his
Hey, Karen, fuck off. I'm
Right.
putting my kid to bed. Right.
Yeah. But it is weird that she didn't do anything, but then immediately mentioned it.
Yes. Yes. What's going on here?
At 9:45 p.m., Matthew Oldfield checked on his daughter. Then he checked on the McCann's apartment. He noticed that the door to the children's bedroom was open, but he didn't go in to fully verify that the kids were there. He just assumed everything was fine and went back to the restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Great checking on him. Good job, Matt.
10 p.m., Kate McCann went to check on Madeleine and the twins. She entered through the patio doors and immediately noticed that the bedroom door was open wider than they had left it. Upon entering the room, she found Madeleine's bed empty and the window and shutter were also open. Kate searched the apartment and surrounding areas, but there was no sign of Madeleine. 10:05 p.m., Kate ran back to the Tapas restaurant, shouting that Madeleine had been taken. Jerry and some of their friends joined in on searching. They split up to search the apartment complex and nearby areas, calling out for Madeleine. The resort staff and other guests joined in on the search, combing through the area, but no trace of Madeleine.
Why would you just run back saying she's taken? Like, wouldn't you just say she's gone?
I saw two different ways it was reported, that she was taken, and then I saw some other stuff saying that she was gone, but she ran back to the restaurant.
I thought about that too. I don't know
That's very
how much to read into that. Yeah, it's very specific.
That's a very weird thing to say.
Why is that your assumption?
Yeah.
She could have just wandered off.
She's also, again, because she's 3 years old.
In an unlocked
she might
apartment.
be looking for mommy and daddy.
Sure.
Okay. And maybe that's not what it specifically was, but okay. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Can you believe the year is almost half over already? Why does it feel like time has been flying by? When you reflect back on your 2024 thus far, what's something you're proud of? What would you like to accomplish throughout the second half of the year? When life goes by so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can be a great way to help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. Therapy provides an opportunity to reflect on your wins, your losses, and what you may want to tackle next. By taking a moment to reflect on yourself, you'll be able to better understand where you're at in 2024 and where you want to be when 2025 gets here. Having a clear vision for your next set of goals will keep you focused, driven, and hungry. So, if you're thinking of starting therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/necro today and get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
At 10:15 p.m., the resort's management contacted the local police. The first officers from the Guardia Nacional Republicana, the GNR, arrived at the scene around 11 p.m. They began
Welcome to the jungle.
They did a search of the apartment and surrounding areas, but they didn't find any immediate evidence as to what happened to Madeleine.
Was anything askew in the apartment? Like, the twins were good. Nothing was knocked over. Like, there wasn't shit everywhere or furniture overturned.
She was just gone.
Just gone.
Again, so no immediate evidence to say she was taken.
She could have easily got up and walked out.
Yeah, with that opened back door.
Yeah, even when I moved into a house when I moved into a house from an apartment, I really had to teach my son not to just walk out the front door. Like, he was real bad with that. And he was older than this. I just can't imagine trusting a 4 or 3-year-old, almost 4, to not walk out that back door. It's crazy.
Especially because there's also a pool.
I put an alarm on my front door so I could hear my son, if I was in another room and he tried to step out of the house.
Yeah, and there's a fucking pool. That's right.
Yeah.
And you're in another country.
Yes.
I don't want to bury these parents, but it's just, I don't know.
But at the same time,
It's part of the case.
poor decisions are poor decisions.
Yeah.
These were all poor decisions. I don't feel bad at all about talking about that.
No, they really were.
Doesn't mean that they planned this to happen, but poor decisions are poor decisions.
Yeah.
In the early morning hours, I had read a bunch that said by 6 a.m., the Policia Judiciaria, the PJ, they're the Portuguese Criminal Investigation Police. They're the official ones. They were notified and they took over. They began a more systematic search and started questioning people. Word of Madeleine's disappearance spread fast. It spread really, really fast. The British consulate in Portugal was informed of the situation and started to provide support to the McCann family while working with local authorities. The PJ issued an alert to the public requesting any information that might help find Madeleine. There were flyers put out with her description, specifically that kind of birthmark in her right eye. By morning time, media outlets in Portugal started to cover the story, and then it just went worldwide. And that's like the first thing you get into with the conspiracy thoughts, because one, they're all wealthy families, that were involved in this. But how fast it spread and how important it seemed. People point to that a lot when we'll get into the conspiracies on what could have possibly happened to her in part 2. But people conspiracy thinking, think it's weird that there must be something. There's something important to them. We'll talk about them meeting the Pope 2 weeks after, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I did read that they acknowledged there were a lot of mistakes made in the early hours. They call them the golden hours of a missing persons investigation with these local police.
The PJ or the GNR?
I think kind of a combination of both, because what I read was that the border police were not given a description for many hours, so they weren't on the lookout for someone trying to cross the border with a girl that looked like her. No roadblocks till 10 a.m. the next morning. They didn't request any of the surveillance pictures from the road cameras to see anyone driving away with a little girl that looked like her. Interpol took 5 days to issue a global missing persons alert. And then not everyone at the resort was interviewed. Like they said, some British vacationers actually called the police themselves later on and said, "Hey, does anyone want to, talk to us about what might have happened that night?" So, and I guess like we've talked about in other cases, the crime scene was not really secured, and people walked through there. A lot of people,
guests checking in at 10 a.m. the next morning, like new guests to the room.
That maybe shouldn't have. So when you do DNA testing or whatnot later, makes it kind of hard to nail stuff down. When,
to be clear, I was making a joke. People weren't actually checking into that room.
They were not. No,
okay. They at least kept the room.
The room was
shut
shut down, but they let some people walk through there that maybe
for a minute you had me fooled.
Shouldn't have been.
I was like, no fucking way. People are staying there.
You guys checking out now? Guess you guys are gonna be going home. We're gonna let these new people in.
We're gonna double book this room. You've already paid for your stay, but we're gonna charge new people.
Jerry and Kate went on the news. They held a press conference and made an emotional plea to the public. If anybody knew anything, come forward. Portuguese authorities then held their own press conference, and they said that, they were taking this very seriously. The McCanns were interviewed by the PJ to get more details about the events leading up to Madeleine's disappearance. They told them everything that we talked about, and the PJ asked them about any unusual activities or anything like that. And Kate McCann at that point remembered that the morning of the disappearance, she had a conversation with Madeleine. In that morning, Madeleine asked, quote, "Why didn't you come home when my brother and I cried last night?" She forgot about this and all the chaos of everything. Later on, remembered it. And that makes you think that maybe somebody could have tried to break in the night before and was, scared away or something.
Like they were doing this every night, right? Sitting at the restaurant.
Yeah.
While the kids were back sleeping. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like the first time.
No, so.
Oh, because I was out boozing. That's why.
Yeah.
I was not keeping an eye on you. I did not hear you screaming because I was at the tapas restaurant eating and drinking.
It's I don't know. We were just talking off air about it again. I don't know if it's just this insulated life where you live a very wealthy life in the country that you are from, so you don't recognize danger like a normal person would. I don't know. Or is it just negligence?
But you just had your kid tell you we were crying for you last night and you didn't come, and you're doing the same exact thing the next night. Is that not a little bit of a wake up call to like?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Maybe we'll just, even if you want to, maybe we'll drink in one of the rooms tonight or on one of the patios outside the door. Just stay close to.
Get some DoorDash.
Yeah, or it's a resort room service, right? Like something. Drink on your back patio. There was a living room, wasn't there? Mm-hmm. Have a little apartment party if you're going to hang out with your friends. I get that.
We might be missing something with the logistics of how all this fits together, but I agree. You can make it work somehow. Yeah.
I saw a map. But like
that's the
if
thing
you're
that's confusing
told
about this
that-
is because you look at you watch the news and stuff and you hear the McCanns talk about it and you're like, yeah, that sounds fine. They're talking about backyard, the house difference. But then you look at the map, like when you actually go out of your way to not listen to what the McCanns say and listen to what the news say and actually look at the map, you're like, oh, wait, that's a lot different than they portrayed it as. Like, do you have to make some turns to get around the pool and around the corner?
A fucking pool outside the door. How many times do we hear on the news of these tragic deaths of young kids and toddlers falling into backyard pools at their own home that they're more familiar with?
Door's unlocked.
The door is unlocked.
Look, I'm open to correction if I'm missing something here, but I think you make a good point, though. Do wealthy people that grow up in privileged areas where they're not subject to, I don't know.
Are they not subject to drownings?
Not necessarily violent. the drownings. Maybe there's a fence there that we don't realize.
Maybe so, but
the drowning. Yes, point taken.
A lot of those pools from resorts do have like the gates that you have to go in.
Right.
So maybe that's not fair. But
just open to the street with unlocked doors. Do you not? I think your point is well made. Do you not recognize danger, especially being in another country where? I don't know if they're unfamiliar. Maybe they came here all the time. Maybe they were familiar, but just still. I don't know. But growing up in the city, maybe I'm just a little more cautious. I'm just always aware of. I would never do something like that. Just always aware of the potential danger of in any situation.
It goes beyond even like someone taking one of the kids. Could be other accidents that happen. The twins were only 2 years old.
You could choke.
Yeah.
Madeleine could walk outside and get hit by a car because no one's watching her. Yes, of course. It's not just a kidnapping thing. It's no one's watching your fucking kid.
Like, and I'm trying to think about like the resort atmosphere from my experience, and this one is different. Just you can walk to the bar and get your drinks and bring them back. You can get plate of food or to-go food, bring it back. You can have a little outside party by the garden area or the outdoor patio, whatever it might be.
I've been to tons of resorts. I would never do this. Never.
Yeah.
The PJ were under a lot of pressure to find Madeleine. As of right now, in the story, they had Jane Tanner's potential eyewitness account. Remember, she said that when she went to check on the kids, she saw a man carrying a child in pink PJs walking away from the apartment where Madeleine was sleeping. Jane described the man she saw as dark-haired, approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall, had a Southern European or Mediterranean appearance, 35 to 40 years old, wearing gold or beige pants and a dark jacket. The child was wearing light-colored pink pajamas with a floral pattern and leg cuffs said to be similar to what Madeleine was wearing. This description was not shared with the media until May 25th. I'm assuming because they zeroed in on their guy pretty quick after they got this description. They also had another eyewitness account to work with, but this one wasn't reported until May 26th. It's Martin and Mary Smith, who were also on vacation, staying at the same resort from Ireland. They reported the sighting to the Portuguese police on May 26th. Around 10 p.m., the Smiths saw a man walking away from the Ocean Club and toward the beach, approximately 500 yards from the McCann's apartment. He was carrying a girl estimated to be 3 or 4 years old, who was wearing light-colored pajamas, had bare feet, blonde hair, and fair skin. The man was described as having a slim to average build, short brown hair, and was between 5 feet 7 inches and 5 feet 9 inches tall, dressed in cream or beige pants. The Smiths noted that he did not appear to be a tourist and seemed uncomfortable carrying the child. It's interesting. We'll talk about it next week, but Scotland Yard put out a report in 2013 saying that the Smith sighting should be considered part of an official timeline regarding Madeleine's disappearance. We're going to backtrack on Jane a little bit, but this one is considered an official.
Okay.
For the time being, Jane's eyewitness account led them to a guy named Robert Murat. Robert Murat was born on November 20th, 1973, and he holds a dual British and Portuguese nationality. At the time of Madeleine's disappearance, Murat worked as a real estate agent and translator. He lived with his mother, Jennifer, in a villa named the Casa Liliana, approximately 150 yards from the McCann's apartment at the resort. So I'm saying there's there's permanent apartment complexes within what's considered the resort.
It's not the kind of resort you normally think of,
Right.
walled off, gated, secluded.
Yeah.
It's just in a neighborhood, more or less.
Yeah. Murat became involved in the case soon after Madeleine vanished on May 3rd. Being fluent in both English and Portuguese, he offered his translation services to Portuguese police and British detectives. Murat was frequently seen around the Ocean Club complex in the days following the disappearance, interacting with journalists, police, and people volunteering in the search. His behavior and his eagerness to be involved in this raised suspicions between some of the journalists covering the case. He was inserting himself into the case for no reason. On May 14th, 2007, Robert Murat was formally named an arguido by the Portuguese police.
Italian Mike's Guido as well.
So that's like with their laws there, I guess you have to be named that before you can, before they can search your stuff or whatever, but they can keep you as an arguido for a long time afterwards. Like it's an official filing. So say 3-4 years later, if you're still considered an arguido, they can just pull you in and search your shit and do whatever.
Hey, Arguido, guess what? We're looking again, pal.
Time for a little chatty chat.
It's kind of like being arrested without actually being in jail. Like they can just monitor what you're doing. And
I'm a perpetual Arguido.
I'm giving you the meat sauce. That's what he tells the police.
So they brought alert dogs into Murat's villa. They took his computers, his cars, and other personal items were seized for forensic analysis. They drained his pool. Like they turned everything upside down. During his initial police interviews, Murat denied any involvement in Madeleine's disappearance, saying he had spent the night of May 3rd at home with his mother. Despite multiple rounds of questioning that were super long and draining, Murat consistently denied having any involvement. His mother, Jennifer, supported Robert's alibi, saying that he had been home with her on the night of Madeleine's disappearance and had not left the house.
Oh, I didn't kill nobody.
There was some cell phone data that was questioned, but the pings weren't super specific. Like the guy lived in the area.
Yeah.
He lived very close to their apartment that they were staying in.
Half the people there are going to ping.
Right.
Right there.
The cell phone data that was used against him wasn't very...
Questionable.
Yeah. They were under a lot of pressure to find somebody. So the fact that Robert Murat just loosely fit that description and lived in the direction that guy was supposedly walking.
Look, that's not infrequent, right? That happens all the time.
Yeah.
And this guy's life was just like fucking flipped upside down because the media was all over him.
He's probably just a goofball that lived next, in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, just wanted to be a part of the commotion. Maybe,
yeah, like inserting yourself seems weird, but for some, the type, like guys like that, that like just want to be involved and trying to help, and could go either way for someone like that, I think.
This is why you just keep your head down and don't involve
don't
yourself.
Don't insert yourself in that shit. Fucking crazy.
It's smart. Yeah. I keep staring at this map, trying to see if there's a fence around the pool based on the picture you sent. I got it like zoomed in, and it looks like there's a fence around most of it, but like from where their apartment is, like the path that they might take, I'm not sure that there's a fence like completely around the pool, which has nothing to do with the story other than like just another reason why you should maybe lock the door.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get an answer for that.
Clearly, if Madeleine had drowned in the pool, they would have found her.
That's true.
The body's not going anywhere. I would suspect, unless they had one hell of a fucking filter system. Like, oh no, that goes right out in the fucking ocean.
A 5 foot wide pipe.
I'm focusing on the wrong things right now.
On May 30th, 2007, nearly a month after Madeleine's disappearance, her parents met with Pope Benedict XVI at the Vatican in Rome. This was, obviously to raise awareness to Madeleine's disappearance, but I mean, this put her on a global stage at this point because everybody, every news outlet in the world covered this. And this is another thing that raises a conspiracy. You know how, like, with John Bonet, her parents being wealthy and important, there's always just rumors of
sex
and
rings and
right, that
elite
kind of stuff.
Cult bullshit stuff. Yeah.
And that's what you get with the McCanns because of this clearly different treatment for whatever reason. I don't think it's because they're involved in sex rings, but
It's because they have
Money.
lawyers that will shut that shit down if they step out of line with how they treat them. Bottom line. The most shocking thing about this is that there were 15 popes named Benedict before this guy. It's a lot of Benedicts, no? I didn't realize it's such a popular pope name.
yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
fucking go, Benedict.
Wasn't this pretty early into his, like, not what term? Like, I remember being in college and the previous, was it Pope John Paul? Died?
There's one in between there, pal.
Maybe and then one of them died when I was in college, and then I remember the new one was Pope Benedict,
Yeah.
and this would have been right at the time that I was in college. So he must have been pretty early into his reign, his term.
His reign.
His reign. I'm reigning pope.
His term as head of the table, as our tribal chief. Whatever you want to call him. We acknowledge him.
Pope comes out pointing out.
You're right, Pope John Paul II before him. I thought there was one in between, but
But I don't think Benedict was around for a long time.
he retired, right?
But it was like maybe 10 years?
8 years.
Wow.
He retired February of 2013.
Okay.
He died in 2022 at the
So-
age of 95.
So he took over in 05. So he was only 2 years into his reign.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they call it. His term, his appointment, his holiness. I don't know.
I think reign's probably good, right?
Sure. Anyways.
By August 2007, 3 months after the disappearance, the Portuguese police were still struggling to find concrete evidence that could explain what happened to Madeleine. At that point, British forensic experts were brought in to assist with the case. And at this point, Robert Murat is kind of just on the back burner. They don't have anything concrete against him. But like we said, they have that egregio status, and they just left him stuck on there. He's going to be stuck on there for a year. And his life's pretty much ruined.
People are always going to think he did that, I guess, right?
There were, tabloids just blasting this guy
Course.
nonstop.
Course.
A team from the Forensic Science Service in Birmingham, UK, was sent to Portugal to expand on the forensic analysis. We talked about it earlier how the apartment had already been searched multiple times by Portuguese authorities. The British team aimed to do more thorough stuff. Specifically, they used luminol to try and detect any traces of blood that might have missed during the earlier evidence collecting.
So I assume they roped this thing off the whole time. Like, what if you own the resort and you can't rent this room all this time?
And also the PR. Like, are people coming to stay here when they're reading about
Exactly.
this?
Of course not. No one wants to do that.
Does this place still open? Or am I jumping ahead?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to book a room right now. You guys want to go to Portugal?
Yes.
Just in a word, yes. There's a tapas restaurant? Yes. We'll book that apartment specifically. We'll do an investigatory of our own.
I can go tomorrow morning. I don't have anything going on. I think it's a great point, though. Like, when a crime occurs in your spot there in your business and they tie up your income like that, and of course people are probably not coming. It's kind of a, secondary victim type thing you don't really think about.
Yeah.
It's not a huge resort, right?
No.
Well, it's probably not even immediate that you feel it, right? Because people have these vacations booked 8 months
sure.
out. But, a year after this happens, you're probably seen a little dip in those numbers.
So like people are like, hey, we're gonna go somewhere else, I think.
Like, hey, what's your pool fence situation?
They found several traces of blood in the apartment, particularly in areas that suggested that an attempt had been made to clean them. Notably, blood was found behind the couch in the living area, on the floor in the same vicinity. Samples of the blood traces were collected and sent back to their laboratory in Birmingham for further analysis. And we'll talk about this next week. This isn't very credible luminal evidence. And that's found out fairly quick, but the media latched onto this, that these blood droplets were found, and everything shifted toward the McCanns at that point.
Yeah,
and they turned into like tabloid, like John Bonet levels of tabloid stuff.
Could they tell the blood was recent, though? Like, who's to say it wasn't from a couple months past?
A place that had new people in there every week.
Right. Like, that's what, like, did they know? Like, were they able to specify, like, hey, these are more recent samples?
We're going to get into the samples next week.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm getting ahead. Yeah.
Because, we'll get into that. We'll break down everything with that.
Some more clarity around those samples, I think.
Okay.
On August 7th, 2007, British alert dogs, specially trained in detecting human remains and blood, were brought in to assist in the investigation. These dogs were accompanied by their handlers from the South Yorkshire Police in the UK. The team included Eddie, a cadaver dog, and Keela, a blood detection dog. Eddie, the cadaver dog, was the first to go in. He was led into the apartment, and Eddie alerted in several areas within the apartment, including a wardrobe near the main bedroom and behind the couch in the living room. Following Eddie's alerts, Keela, the blood detection dog, was brought in. Keela also alerted behind the couch in the living room, corroborating Eddie's findings. The dog's handlers and the police documented the locations of the alerts, and they pulled what samples they could from those areas for further testing. The focus then shifted to the McCann's rental car, which they had rented 25 days after Madeleine's disappearance. Eddie and Keela were brought into the car to do similar searches. Eddie alerted to the presence of cadaver scent in the trunk of the car and at the driver's door. Keela also alerted to traces of blood in the trunk of the car.
25 days later.
We're going to talk about this, the results in this more next week, because these are disputed as well, these findings. But now between the blood droplets and these dogs alerting, the McCanns were thrown fully into the spotlight and kind of back into it because the news cycle kind of moved past them at this point. This was a resurgence in the case. Then on September 7th, 2007, Kate and Jerry McCann were officially named arguidos, formal suspects by the Portuguese police. And that's where we'll pick back up on part 2.
I'm assuming at this point they were home.
Yeah, they had left. Well, no, I take that back.
Or did they stay to kind of cooperate with the
They
investigation?
stayed to cooperate.
You mean they didn't book a flight to Georgia the next day like other parents we've talked about?
No, they did not. They stayed and helped. They left 2 days after this happened, though. On September 9th, they were back on their way to
I wonder if that was just on the advice of attorneys, though.
I'm sure.
Yeah, time to get the fuck out of there.
The fact that they stayed kind of holds weight with me, though. Like, they were staying to help, which I feel like somebody would do in that situation, right? Like, if you had any hope that your kid was still there and alive, like, you're not going to leave.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that holds some weight. And then maybe if it's starting to flare up and they're going to suspect you, your attorney's like, hey, you need to go cool off for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know kind of, I don't know necessarily spoiled it, but earlier I said that I don't think the parents did this. And I guess it's kind of a spoiler because next week we're just going to poke holes in all this forensic evidence, the dogs, and we'll, see where the case goes from there, follow the evidence. But yeah, I don't think they did anything here. I just think that they made a really terrible mistake.
Yeah.
That you can argue whether or not it's negligent or whatever, but
I found this extremely interesting. Very sad, but very interesting. Also intrigued because you guys said that you don't think the parents had any involvement. So I'm like, wonder where this one's going to go.
Yeah, there's always people that, like you brought up how the Ramseys just like took off and stuff. There's always weird stuff with the parents. There's nothing weird with them aside from them being just irresponsible. They stayed and they wanted to. You can tell that they really do want to find their daughter.
I agree.
People are going to critique the parents in a situation like this, no matter what they did.
Right.
You know, we even talked like they could be drinking outside on the patio within earshot of their kids. People would then critique that if something happened, right? Like, oh, you shouldn't have been outside, you know, drinking, and you should have been inside. So I understand it's not a good situation to be in.
This is a bridge too far to be considered responsible parenting, I think.
Yeah.
Which is what leads to a lot of the criticism.
Yeah. But you can tell that they are genuinely just, trying to find their daughter.
I agree. Yeah.
It was negligent, perhaps, but it wasn't meant to be harmful to their kids.
I think the downplaying of it is something that they get criticized for a lot now that they're like focused on, the media. I don't think it's them hiding anything or not caring. I think it's them trying to rationalize that mistake that
To yourself.
made. Yeah.
When you say
live with
downplaying, you mean like, oh, we were drinking in the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like George's like, it was like I'm sitting in the backyard. It's like, well, it's not.
It's not that.
Just trying to appease your conscience.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of it
I
because
think it's a big part of it, yeah.
you're not you're.
It's hard to live with. Like
blame.
yeah,
for
of course.
whatever happened.
Just trying to convince yourself that you didn't really fuck up that bad. I get that.
So next week we'll continue down. We'll get down. We'll poke holes in all that evidence. And then we'll just continue because there's even stuff that's happened last year.
How about that?
So.
Is this a two-parter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll finish it up next week.
I know sometimes people like to know because I will often wait and listen to both parts, which I guess us talking about it makes no help for them because they're not listening to this and they won't fucking know. So
That's a great point.
never mind me even asking. All right. Well, we'll save comments for next week then. Dave, what do you got?
I have some new patrons I'd like to welcome on board.
Please do.
Sure. Thank you to new patrons Samantha 2024, Eric Streckfist II, Sean Pluger, Brinley, Marley Strand Nicolaizen, Tiffany, my last name's hard to pronounce, so fuck it. There you go, Tiff. Defiant Music, Beef Curtains, Full Metal Cucks versus Cucks Across America. Competition, Full Metal Cucks. Vince McMahon's Dildo Dealer.
All named after wrestlers.
That is so wild.
What?
That he
Oh,
had sex toys named after all the wrestlers.
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
So
A little
weird,
bit.
man.
The whole thing is just
Little bit.
creepy. Well, that'll be a future episode.
Like, what if your boss had fucking sex toys named after you and all your coworkers? Like, that would be so weird to find out.
Well,
Eric Wiles, Punk Girl, Lexi Denham, Savannah Sorma, Sue Winchester, My Hairy Axe Wound, Adam Harden, Mark Stansfield, Micro Mike, and Rory Bailey. Thank you, new patrons. You'll find a plethora of stuff in the archive to listen to.
there's a ton of good stuff currently up on patreon.com/necronomipod,
It's the best stuff in the world.
including everything we've ever done on Patreon. But the new stuff has been pretty exquisite, if I don't say so myself. Ian, what do you got?
For iTunes, I have one for Christy and Bro Squad. Thank you guys.
Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, a couple international ones. Thank you, Stephanie OS from Australia. And let's see here. Anal O Weekend from Great Britain. Thank you for the great reviews.
All right.
I do have a shout out. We got a gift in the mail the other day from Caitlin in New Zealand. All kinds of nice candy in here.
Oh, the candy shipment.
What'd you guys think? I know you were chowing down on it the other day.
That caramel one was pretty good. The chocolate.
I had a chocolate crisp one that was pretty tasty.
It was good stuff.
So thanks, Kalen. All the way from New Zealand.
The caramel was better than American caramel, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was more like gooey,
Was it?
rich, yeah.
Okay.
Did you fuck that chocolate bar? We'll just tell your mother that we ate it all. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod, necronomipod.com, and amazon.com. Search Necronomipod for all of our merch.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.